Today we are talking about skincare habits that have really helped me improve my acne. I have been on quite the journey with my skin and my acne, but today I have some helpful habits that I use in my daily life that I have noticed have helped to improve my skin. And I realize not everyone can afford to see a dermatologist, so all of these habits are just like helpful tips and tricks that you can implement in your own lifestyle that don't really cost you anything. Everything that I'm going to mention is based off of my own experience, my own research. Alright, so I feel like I'm just rambling. Let's get on with the video. First, I'm going to get a little closer to show you guys what we're working with here. I do not have any makeup on right now besides my eyebrows, mascara, and some lip gloss. But this is the current state of my skin. It's not the best, but it's also not the worst that it's been. I do have a little friend on my chin. I usually break out around my chin during my period, and that did just end for me, hence this guy. Other than that, my skin is pretty clear. My skin is very sensitive, very cystic acne prone, but I haven't had a cyst in about a month until this guy showed up like last week. So my skin has been at a pretty good state. I did break out quite a bit, maybe like 2 to 3 months ago. But I think that was because I was really stressed because I did just move away from home to a new state for the first time with getting a new job and figuring out my life and everything like that. That just caused a lot of stress, and I think that definitely showed through my skin. So I do have some hyperpigmentation, dark spots left over. I do still have redness and large pores as always, but I do put a lot of effort in maintaining my skin, preventing breakouts. So let's get on with the habits. These are like the top 5 habits that people always talk about: staying hydrated, exercising, eating healthy, not picking at your pimples, and not sleeping with your makeup on. So when it comes to staying hydrated, I definitely notice a difference when I am drinking a lot of water throughout the day versus when I'm not. If one day I barely drink any water, I only drink like 1 bottle of water, then the next day my skin just looks super dry and dull and my eyes look sunken in. I just don't look as good as when I do drink a lot of water. So stay hydrated. Number 2, exercising. We should all be living a active lifestyle. It is very hard sometimes to get your butt up, but it's also a good stress reliever. 3, eating healthy. For some people, diet definitely has an effect on their skin. Certain foods can trigger flare-ups, so it really depends. You just have to try it out for yourself. Like for me, I try and stay away from dairy and refined sugars. I know dairy and refined sugars are a big trigger for a lot of people, so if you do eat a lot of those things, maybe try and cut those out for like a week or 2, see if your acne clears up a little. But I also found that regular bowel movements are also very important. There was a time where I was constantly constipated, and I was also breaking out a lot on my cheeks. I think the science behind that is kind of like your body's holding on to this waste. That waste may turn toxic, and those toxins are coming out through your skin. So I started eating more foods that are high in fiber. Number 4, don't touch your face, don't pick at your pimples, especially if you haven't washed your hands and you pick at a pimple and it's suddenly open, then more bacteria could get into it. One tip that I have to help you not touch your pimples is to use pimple patches. So this is one that I have been using recently. This is Alba Botanica acne pimple patches. They are skin colored, so when you stick them on your face, it's actually kind of hard to tell that you have them on your skin because it blends in really nicely. So you could wear this out during the day and people won't really notice. Pimple patches can also suck up the like oil, sebum, dirt in your pimple and kind of reduce the size of it, reduce the inflammation. So if you have an obsession with picking your pimples, slap one of these on there to prevent yourself from aggravating it even more. But I also try not to like lean on my hands. Like if I'm sitting at my desk or something, I try not to like use an open palm and just like rest it on my cheek, especially since my problem areas are like my cheeks and my chin. My jawline is actually not that bad, so if I do want to lean on my hand, I'll like go like this. But yeah, just like don't touch your face, especially if you don't have clean hands. Oh no, someone's balloon just flew away. Okay, anyway. And number 5, don't sleep with your makeup on. We all know this, but I think we've all done this at least once in our lives. But this is something that I'm like religious about. I always make sure to take off my makeup and do my skincare before I go to bed. I just think it's so important because your makeup sitting on your face all day, especially if you've had it on for like 8, 10, 12 hours, it could clog your pores, cause some breakouts. So I always make sure to properly cleanse my face. I don't use makeup wipes because they tend to be kind of harsh on my skin because my skin is so sensitive. So instead I use micellar water. This is just from Garnier. And if I'm wearing waterproof makeup, which I usually do, then I'll use the blue bottle, which is meant for waterproof makeup. And then I'll wash my face with my Noxzema Classic Clean Deep Cleansing Cream. Another important tip is instead of using my fingers, I usually like to use this little spatula thing to pick up product out of the jar because it keeps the product cleaner and fresher longer and keeps any possible bacteria from your fingers out of the container. After I use that, I usually tone my face. So I put some toner on a cotton pad, swipe it all over my face, and there usually isn't any makeup or like oils, residue left on the cotton pad. So I know that it's doing its job at cleansing my skin. So yeah, those are the top 5 habits, which brings us to our 6th point, which is to rub your cleanser into your face for at least 20 to 30 seconds. Now, this might seem like a duh type of thing, but like this is something that I wasn't doing for a while. Like I would literally just take my cleanser, rub it on my face for like 5 seconds. Like that's it. Maybe not even 5 seconds. Just like all right, super fast, and then rinse it off. But I feel like that doesn't give your cleanser enough time to like actually work and clean your face. So I'll just stand there rubbing it in small circular motions around my face, giving myself a nice face massage as well. And I'll literally count in my head, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Use this as a time to relax and de-stress and kind of feel like you're pampering yourself. Number 7, change your pillowcase every single night. This kind of sounds crazy, but it's something that I do every single night. I have a stack of pillowcases in my closet. I think I have enough pillowcases for like 2 weeks. If that's too crazy for you, I would say like maybe every other night or every 2 nights, because when you're sleeping on your pillow at night, especially if you don't wash your hair every day, there might be some dirt and oils that can transfer to your pillowcase, and during the night you might be rolling around, rubbing your face against your pillowcase against all of those dirt and oils, which will transfer onto your skin, possibly clogging your pores and causing little breakouts here and there. And that's just not something that I want to deal with, so I just eliminate that problem altogether by using a new pillowcase every single night. I am just paranoid about getting new breakouts. I've worked so hard to get my skin to the point where I don't really have a lot of breakouts, and I just don't want to take any risks. Number 8, try and keep your hair out of your face, especially if you use a lot of product on your hair like hairspray, dry shampoo. I also sleep with my hair tied up in a ponytail or in a bun because, again, whatever dirt, oil, products that are in your hair could transfer onto your skin, clog your pores, cause some breakouts. If you do have like bangs, or if your hair falls down the side of your face, pin your hair back, tie it up. Number 9, get enough sleep. If I only get like 5 hours of sleep versus like 7 hours of sleep, my skin again just looks dry and dull and just not as like plump and youthful and glowy as when I have 7 to 8 hours. It sounds so like cliche, but like I personally notice a difference. It's not just for your skin, but also for your overall mental health and well-being. Number 10, exfoliate, but not too much and not too little. It's all about finding that balance. I usually exfoliate my face 1 to 2 times a week. I'll usually exfoliate on like Sunday and then like Wednesday. I have pretty sensitive skin, so that's why I space out my exfoliation days. If you have sensitive skin like me, you might need to build up your tolerance to exfoliate more frequently. But if you're just starting out, I would say to exfoliate like once a week and then build it up from there. For me, if I exfoliate too much, then my skin gets really dry dry and irritated and red, and it kind of burns and stings my skin, which I think is a red flag that should not be happening. But if I don't exfoliate enough, then I get a lot of buildup, my skin looks dull. And there are different ways to exfoliate too. You can do a chemical exfoliation, which is pretty much just like a AHA or a retinol. Those are usually like gels or creams, sometimes toners. The chemical exfoliator that I use is the Ordinary's Glycolic Acid 7% toning solution. This is pretty new to my regimen. I use this like once a week, and this one contains AHA. But if I want a physical exfoliation, then I will use this. This is a NuSonic by Skinn Cosmetics. The head doesn't spin like some other brushes. I actually don't like using those because I feel like those are more abrasive. This one just vibrates like really intensely. This is the on button. You can see that the head is not spinning, it's just vibrating, and that just like loosens the dirt and oil in your pores, really gives that nice deep clean. I use this like once a week, and I like the silicone head. It is removable, so you can really wash it and clean it and prevent bacteria buildup in there. Number 11, I'm running out of hands. Pat your products into your skin and also pat your face dry rather than using rubbing motions. If you rub your skin and you have like active breakouts, then it could irritate and aggravate that even more. So it's good to use a patting motion because it's just more gentle for your skin. But also, constantly tugging at your skin can cause your skin to lose its elasticity. This is more just to prevent like early signs of aging and wrinkles and things like that. My next tip is to moisturize even if you have oily skin, because I have oily skin, and for the longest time I thought that I did not need to moisturize because I have oily skin anyway, so like why do I need to put more moisture and oil? But actually my skin was very dry and dehydrated. Especially if your skin feels really tight after you clean it, then you know that your skin needs hydration. Because my skin was so dry and dehydrated, it was trying to compensate for that by producing more oil, which made me think that my skin was oily, but really it was just super dry. So once I started using moisturizers every day, the oil production kind of slowed down. I was like, whoa. I like to use a hyaluronic acid serum. I love this one because when it completely dries, it doesn't feel sticky on your skin. And then I follow it up with some lotion. I don't use any fancy moisturizer. I literally just use Aveeno Daily Moisturizing Lotion. Before this, I used to use Cetaphil's lotion, but that was really greasy, even though they claim that it's not greasy. But then I discovered this one because someone had it at work and I tried it and I put it on and it absorbed so quickly and did not leave that greasy, sticky feeling afterwards. And it was amazing because it didn't break me out either. My next tip is to keep your skincare routine simple. I don't think you need a lot of steps to have an effective skincare routine. So it's usually just cleanse, tone, treat if I have any breakouts, moisturize, and yeah, that's it. The only other thing that I do is exfoliate, which only happens once or twice a week. And I don't use a lot of masks or anything either. Sometimes I'll use a charcoal mask, but when it comes to your everyday routine, I think keeping it simple is probably the best option. Give your skin time. Getting clear skin, getting rid of acne, things like that just takes a really long time. So you have to be patient with your skin. You're not gonna get clear skin in one day. I'm sure you've heard that before, but it is true. I've learned my lesson not to go crazy on like trying a bunch of new products at one time because I think that it's going to instantly clear my skin. But no, it just makes things worse. Introduce one new product to your routine at a time if you're testing out something new, and you have to give it time to see if it actually works for your skin. It could take 2 weeks, it could take 2 months. It's not gonna happen overnight. I know you probably don't want to hear that, but that's the truth. And that also ties into my final tip, which is to not be so hard on yourself about your skin. My skin is probably my biggest insecurity, and it's hard when you feel like you're the only person going through all of that, but that's why I want to make these videos to show people that they're not alone. Most times you are your biggest critic, and most times people don't even notice. Like when I thought that my acne was at its worst, I thought everyone around me saw what I saw, but really when I asked my friends about it, they were like, I didn't even notice. Be patient, but also be kind to yourself. So yeah, that pretty much brings us to the end of the video. Acne is a freaking bitch, and there's no one size fits all solution, unfortunately, but hopefully these tips helped you out, maybe you learned something from it, and maybe most importantly, learn that whatever you're going through, you're not alone. I will always be here supporting you guys because I know what it feels like. If you have any other tips or good habits that I didn't mention in this video that you want to share, leave them down in the comments below. We got this because we got each other. So that's it for this video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!